You're the bad.
Okay, any citizens' comments or reports? Look like it.
Will you go ahead and just read the start of the meeting and the
Okay.
airport? Yeah, just so we have it in the record.
Notice hereby give the,
Oh, no, just that top paragraph, at the very top.
okay,
Yeah, starting the airport advisory
Okay.
board Wednesday, with the date and the time.
okay. Airport Advisory Board is the Wednesday, February 15th, 3:00. Port Aransas. And call to order.
There you go. Thank you, sir. So some comments, no? Huh?
Okay,
Can we do a quick introduction of our newest member?
please, thank
Casey
you.
Campbell, welcome aboard. Yeah, you want to give us a little spiel about yourself or your interest or anything?
My husband, Dan Campbell,
Of course.
Camtronics
Yeah.
Aviation, shop now is over in Ingleside at McCampbell Porter Airport. And we've had that for 20 years. And I do paperwork, help him out sometimes if he does the bulk of the work, one man show. We don't have any employees or
Yeah.
anything. But before that, I was a aircraft structural mechanic in the Navy.
Oh,
So-
nice, great.
Been around airplanes a while.
Good.
And my daughter's currently in flight training, so yeah, she enjoys it.
All right.
We want your business here with our new hangars.
Well, welcome aboard. Thanks for helping.
Yeah, we'd love to have it over here.
Yeah, it would be nice.
All right, what's next?
Randy?
Short sweet day. Aircraft count since the first of the year, 140, or actually first of the year through the end of January, 142. The fuel report, this is between the 14th of October and the 23rd of January. We've sold approximately 6,100 gallons, so that's pretty much on tap for what we normally sell, somewhere between 24 and 30,000 gallons a year.
What's our price sitting at now? We're at,
550.
how are we regionally?
We're
Low, we're low,
competitive.
we're low, right?
We're a little bit low with some of them, yeah. There's always a few outliers that's gonna be real low, but they haven't bought fuel in 10 years either, so.
Right.
It's one of those deals.
All right, good.
Overnight fees collected in January, $330. Transient parking billing in January, we sent out for $185. Update on the fishing.
Oh, Randy, real quick on the parking, how many non-responses did we get? I know we sent out or not overnight on the airport parking fee.
Okay, that's,
Is that coming
I'll
up?
cover that in a.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were there. Sorry. Okay.
We have got the fishermen pretty much to quit crossing the runway since we put up all the signs in between hangars. Problem now is they're parking in the visitor parking lot. And there's days out there that you can't, there's not any place for anybody to park. This afternoon out there were, when I left, there was 11 cars out there.
We saw the picture.
11 cars. They also, they backed into the keypad thing. We're having to buy a new one. That's 2,000
Do you
bucks.
think it was a fisherman?
I don't know.
Right.
I
I don't
just
have a
know
camera,
that-
do we?
The cars that we need a camera, yeah. But anyway, that's 2,000 bucks, but it's probably about time anyway. That post is getting pretty rusty. The keypad itself was, we was having some problems with it, not a whole lot, but if we're going to replace one, we might as well do them both. And so they're supposed to come out, I think next week and replace that. Tomorrow, operations is coming out to put up a sign that says it's for airport parking, is for official parking only. And if you're not there on official business, the car will be towed. I believe that's what the sign says. And so,
Right. And we can, and if they ask, they can street park.
that's, yeah, I did talk with the police department and they said that they would not cite them for parallel parking along Piper
Yeah,
Boulevard.
on either side. So
Right, yeah.
that's where they need to be.
Yeah.
Do you anticipate towing any cars?
I don't know. What I plan to do is if it doesn't work, the sign going up, I'm gonna take a picture of the sign and put it on the car. And if that doesn't work, then I'm gonna say your license plate's been recorded. The next time it will be towed.
Okay.
They've been pretty, I think they'll be compliant.
I thought they
I think they don't want a ticket or to be towed.
They were
These
good, they were good with the first sign, so.
Yeah, I think they'll respond.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
We tell them to
parallel park.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. I mean, it's the difference of 75 feet being in the street versus,
As long as there's a sign there, which we don't
Yeah.
have now,
Yeah,
right,
I don't think there's gonna be a problem.
yeah.
Yeah, and as long as we give them plenty of notice, and like your idea of, give them a couple of notices.
Yeah.
You know, before you tow anything off.
and just a side note on that, if anybody's fisherman, that's a good place to fish. My God, they're coming out of there with fish.
Yeah.
Every day. That's a fishing hole. Vehicle parking, as far as the parking fee at the airport, as most of you know, city council here a few months ago, they raised the rate from 100 a year to 500 a year. I didn't think we would get that many, but Belinda's been cracking the whip and she's got 31 people to pay so far.
And how many have not? There's not many, right?
There's only 3 that have it, and then there's one car that's tagged that.
Was completely non-responsive, right?
That's that old
yeah.
car that's out there.
Right.
Yeah.
So pretty good compliance. It's not
It is,
bad.
it is, and that's pretty good. That's $15,000 a city.
Yeah.
That's pretty good
Yeah.
money. That's all I have. The
Good.
only other thing that I have is I'd like to give a shout out to Mark. Anytime pilots out there have a problem with a dead battery or anything, I can call Mark and he's Johnny on the spot if he's in town. And they appreciate it and I do too, Mark. So, any questions?
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you. Lawrence, what do you have for us?
Yes, I'm up. So I'll be going over fuel form maintenance and tank repair. So what I handed out was a copy of the notice to bidders that was put out. We did an RFP. Per law, it has to go in the paper for 2 weeks, and then we'll take all those bids through the mail to the city secretary. They're sealed and they are scheduled to open this Friday at 3 p.m. And we'll put it on the upcoming agenda, which is on the 23rd for council action to recommend a bidder to proceed with repair to that fuel tank and the other equipment that's there. That'll also include the
card reader.
Well, I'm trying to think
The shade, the
yes,
canopy.
the canopy. I was at a loss for words there. But yeah, there's a skid there with the hose reel and a couple other parts. The tank itself, everything will be blasted and then primed, and a 2-part epoxy will be put over it, which should keep it lasting well in our corrosive environment. There's a hole in the fuel tank, possibly 3, that'll also get welded, patched, and that's part of the process as well.
The outer one, it's a double tank, so it's corroded through on the outside, not the inner tank.
Correct. Yes, sir. Yeah. And they'll also clean the inside of the fuel tank. They'll get it to a certain depth, store some of that fuel, get in there, wipe it all down, and get it back online. Any questions on the?
Budget wise, we're thinking about what? Probably should come in around 70, give or take.
Most likely. So, of course, we've got one bid. And we won't know the price on that bid until we open it at 3 p.m. this Friday.
Yeah.
But probably anywhere, if I had to guess, maybe the 60 to 70 range,
Right.
maybe, possibly.
One of the things that bothers me is the ports of the shelter that goes over the card reader. And we know what that looks like. No matter what you have down here for your specs, they're gonna use steel, zinc plated bolts or something like that. I don't see anything about stainless, but what happens is even if you have galvanized spec and whatever, then they just put in stuff and the thing falls apart again. So somebody has to be out there and verify. I guess it's gonna be Randy that they do it right.
Yeah, correct. I'll definitely make sure to poke my head in as well with Randy whenever this is all going on. But I did put within the specs to make sure everything was galvanized. But yeah, we'll make sure to have a conversation with that bidder. We do have one bidder.
The thing is that It isn't like you're trying to get away with something. If you're over in McCampbell, they just don't have the corrosion problem we have. And so they're used to doing what they're used to doing. I think they're doing a good job, but we just live in a different place.
Yes, sir. I'll make sure to have a conversation with that bidder to put them on point about our environment. And if there's things that I'm not thinking of or we're missing, please, take care of that on your end and make sure you put nothing but things that will stand up to our environment.
Chris, have you seen other shade structures for the tanks? Because you fly around more a little bit, yeah. I know Fredericksburg has in the, not at the main terminal, but on down, they have an old wooden one that's held up great. And, a wood shade structure for the card reader might be a good, or any comments that you have?
Anything you'd have to have would have to be full galvanized, like he said, and stainless steel.
Okay, or a wood structure is what I'm getting at. Are there any?
Probably galvanizers, would be better.
Okay,
Galvanized iron would be stronger,
yeah,
or aluminum, because it's got to also hold up.
This is supposed to be, the post and everything is supposed to be galvanized.
Just have to worry about the fastenings.
As Mark is, and I was, I'm just used to building stuff. And you can say galvanized, and they use the galvanized steel. But it's what they call galvanized before. And then anytime you scrape it or anything else, it's rusted. What we want is galvanized after, where it's made, the plates are on there, it's drilled, everything else, then they dip it. Then we don't have any problems, but it's like stainless steel rain gutter. There's 4 or 5 different grades. The last one rusts on it. So anyway, I guess that's up to you to keep an eye. And if you don't want to be the bad guy, I'm glad to do it.
Yeah, I did talk to one of our vendors about this and kind of mentioned, since you're already painting with this 2-port epoxy and a primer, that's really supposed to protect the tank. Can we just, when we rebuild this canopy structure, can we just go ahead and paint that? And he advised as long as you just installed all the galvanized, he felt like that it would last. But that was his impression.
If it's galvanized and painted, it's not going to stick.
Right.
Is there an
Maybe.
option of a wood structure with stainless steel, like
Yeah, wood with
wood
stainless steel.
stainless is inexpensive and,
Okay.
that's like what they built at the golf course and whatnot. And then I'm thinking of, the one that I am thinking of is, that wooden one that's in Fredericksburg. It's an old one, but it's
Do you have a picture?
Guess it's a little late to.
Right.
a little late on that.
No, I mean, we can always issue a change order. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, so this is bolted into the concrete. Probably what you would end up with is, some kind of metal structure being bolted into the ground for the footing. And then from that point on would be your wood, maybe some kind of cedar or something like that. That'll
Yeah,
withstand
we
the
can,
environment.
I think, Lawrence, let's get after the bid comes in, we can get a cost estimate on what it would cost to hot dip it. That's the process, hot dip.
Hot dip galvanized. would be
Yeah,
the best.
so
The wood-
we can look at it.
Yes, on this end.
Hot dip, the new
Hot dip
product.
galvanized, yeah, it's where, like Mark said, you take the whole thing and dip it. It's like how they do.
So it's just a shade structure.
trailers.
It's wood.
Okay.
It protects the wind from getting on it as well a little bit. So it would protect the machinery a little bit, I would think.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that wasn't included in
It
our
might not be.
bid.
Yeah, no, we'd have to issue a change order.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, we can take care of that.
And then if you get some pictures of the wooden one, send us some pictures of it. We can look
Okay.
into it and see if it's a better alternate or.
Look, Google, like reviews of the airport and images that people say.
The only thing I would add is if you go with wood, you're gonna have to be painted it all.
well, just a treated wood, just don't paint it at all.
Backstairs, it has been
Yeah.
treated, and I can tell you that it is not held up yet.
Yeah,
I mean, we're
Painted
also
wood
just
is not held up this environment.
Be done with it. Yeah.
Best thing.
we're talking about a little.
Okay.
A little.
And it
just
might not be that
Yeah.
much. It's not a big.
Yeah, we might be able to-
All
I mean, they dipped it, they had this
yeah.
35-foot trailer, so I mean, they just have a big tub and it just.
Has that's been there since the hurricane. And it's dissolved over.
What's that? That canopy
No,
structure?
that was put in 2015.
Was it?
Yeah.
So 2 years before the hurricane.
It's still dissolved in front of us.
Cause it's made out of what, steel right now? I've never really paid attention to it.
It's, the canopy itself is galvanized, the canopy's okay.
It's the
It's
frame.
post, the post were powder coated steel.
Yeah, that's shit.
Yeah, it was
That's
powder
what we've done a
coated.
bunch of playgrounds with and it just implodes. We get about 5 years out of them.
Hold on.
Yeah, we'll look into that
Can
one.
you do-
Sure.
Can you even get it, something for all aluminum? Just. That'll be expensive.
I think the hot dip is the way to go. I know they hot dip in San Antonio, so it's just a matter of somebody trucking the object up there. I mean, they're hot dipping 35-foot boat trailers.
It's gotta be someone.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not, yeah, we'll find it. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
So this
I think
is-
we can-
This is just parts that they'll have to assemble, right? So maybe they can be hot dipped before they're shipped.
No, you want them to assemble
Build
it
it and then hot dip it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll figure it out.
Okay, right. There's no point in drilling into it after. Okay, any other questions on that? Okay, that's gonna be it for me.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
David.
you.
Okay, we had our first of the year kickoff meeting with TxDOT Aviation. I think it was the first week in January regarding the capital improvement project. We were a little worried because they felt that we weren't going to be able to meet the they weren't going to be able to, they were thinking they weren't going to have the funding ready until September. And that we would hit there's a problem right now in Port Aransas because we have a pair of mating whooping cranes. And so anything in that area, you now have a build window that comes and goes. And so we think, it was kind of monkeying with us, but we think now, well, she thought we weren't gonna have the money until September, but she did she emailed me on January 19th, and we received really good news that all the money is there at TxDOT. So they have the 5.2 million sitting there ready for the city. And this is from Stephanie Kleiber. She's our project engineer with TxDOT Aviation. So they're thinking that we can have the bid documents ready to bid by May. So that's our target date. So we think we can have a May bid date for the $5.2 million improvement project. So that's great news. So typically with TxDOT Aviation, you're probably looking at about a month to bid, and then they're kind of slow about awarding bids. They're not as fast as the city. So probably a month to bid and a month to award. So but I think we can definitely kick the project off this summer.
What's the cutoff in the fall?
Well, the cutoff, the area that we're worried about is doing the cul-de-sac at the very end. We think the work along the highway is fine. So they think they can work around that, and just the contractor will have to work his schedule so that the cul-de-sac head, he gets taken up first before that window closes on him, and then he can shift to the east end along the highway and do all that work. And so we think we can work around the whooping crane issue. So that's good news. So, but the great news is that a lot of times when the funding has been sitting for, when did we fund? 2012, it's 10-year-old funding that
Disappears.
it disappears, and then you got to reallocate, but it's there. So we're ready to move. All the engineer is doing right now is they're making sure that whatever, if there's been any federal changes in paint striping, any of that stuff, any federal regulation that might have changed in the last 10 months, because the plans have been sitting, that he's just got to do tweak those little updates. But we think we're going to get bid documents ready in May. So
Are they gonna start working on the runway first or what? How?
We'll bring that back to you guys and between us and TxDOT, we'll figure out what the schedule needs to be. You know, where they're gonna start, how they'll move around. You know, we talked about doing the runway, you know, doing the work so that summertime is impacted. So we'll bring you guys back the schedule in probably June, once it goes out to bid. Or once it's awarded, and then we can work with the contractor and TxDOT Aviation and figure out what is the best schedule for our airport. So that'll come back to you guys. So we'll have input on what the work schedule should be.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah. So we'll bring that back and I'll keep you guys updating on the bid. So, but it is great news. So the money's there.
Okay. Yeah, that's fantastic. Can't believe we got that report.
Yeah.
That's really good. Any board members' comments?
Oh, let me real
yeah.
quick, so the 90-10 hangar money. So we were happy to see we are on the 90-10 list.
Okay,
And for those of you that don't know it, so the TxDOT Aviation has a whole bunch of different pots of money. One pot they have is a hangar program where they help airports with building hangars, and it's really great because it's 90-10 money, 90 on the TxDOT side, 10% on the city side. And for us, we want to build it's in our new ALP is we've identified 2, and I think they're like either 10 or 11 hangar nested T's. So they're once we build them, it'll be a great source of income
yeah,
for the airport. So it's something that we've really wanted to do. So we wrote a letter probably about, when did we write that letter? Maybe about 3 or 4 years ago to get on the list. I forget when we did it. I'll have to look at the date, but after a couple of years of just not seeing any action or not getting a reply, all of a sudden we looked up on the 2022-23 hangar allocation, and there was Port Aransas. Now the dilemma was I was looking at the dollar amount and I was like, oh, that's not going to build 11. That's not going to build an 11 pack because it was only like
Like $500,000 or something.
it was 660,000.
Yeah.
So it's way short. So we probably I forget, didn't you and I do the math, and we were thinking that maybe it's like that's half
yeah,
or not even that.
not even that.
Yeah, we were thinking. We have our hired lobbyist this year that council's hired. And one of the thing on our council is going to approve the city's legislative priorities list next Thursday. And that will be on there. So it'll be one of our legislative priorities. We'll get our lobbyist Deirdre Delasay, is that how you pronounce her last name? We've talked to her about it. She's going to help us work. Representative Canales, who wrecked his plane out there, or his brother wrecked it, is right? His brother, his brother and mechanic.
The brother was a passenger.
And wiped out some of our lights. So he called us and said, hey, what can we do? Or what can I do for you guys? So we're like, what? And he said, I am the House chairman on the transportation. So he is going to be in our sights. So what we do during the legislative cycle. So the legislative cycle comes up every 2 years. It's January through the end of May. And typically it's where everything gets funded. All the state agencies are in there trying to get their funding, General Land Office, TxDOT Aviation, TxDOT. We're hearing that there is a slug of money that TxDOT is sitting on. And they say it's just like unbelievable, like we haven't seen it in years. And so my hope is that we'll discover that TxDOT Aviation has a pretty big chunk too. So our goal will be, so what council does during the legislative session, we work with the chamber, we host a Port A Day, and everyone's welcome to come up. It is April, what is it?
Well,
April 12th is Port A Day. So we go up the night before, usually stay in a hotel. Todd Hunter we get entrance, whoever shows up from the community, usually have a big old, pretty decent crowd. We sit up in there's a seating section above the house floor. And so Todd does a recognition of, he reads a proclamation that it's official Port A Day, and everyone claps because they all love Port A. And so we get recognized. But while we're up there, one thing we do, we host a big luncheon the next day. And we try to get as many legislators to come into the luncheon, and we hand them our one-page flyer of our priorities. And so that's going to be on there. So, but what else we do is if there's council members and staff, we usually have we split up and we go and hit all these different offices of representatives and senators. You just cold call, and usually you don't get the representative, you get their staffers, but it's still great. But we're definitely going to work Representative Canales and help him try to get a little bit of extra funding in that hangar pot, and definitely try to up Port A. So we have a good strategy, and our lobbyists will help with that effort too. So she'll work him. We'll get Todd Hunter to work it, and then staff and city council will work it also. Maybe we can even get a quick letter from you guys from the board. I don't know, we can do something like that, but
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're gonna work to improve that hangar money. And hopefully, if we could be successful this legislative session, we could get it up. Our goal would be to just increase as much as we could. We think it's definitely well short,
We'll
but
rent every hangar we build.
yeah.
and that'll-
So
Everybody likes income.
right, so that's that is our strategy on that. And then I think what we have to remember this coming budget cycle in our goals workshop is for city council, and remind me to do this on our list, is for city council to make sure we budget the city's 10% portion of not just the 660, but maybe a projected higher number, but get council to fund that also. Because they put away a nest egg for the city's 10% match of the upcoming $5 million project. So they put away a chunk of that last summer. So that's in the budget. So that's budgeted. So we need to look at possibly increasing so we need a couple budget items. We need the 90-10 hangar money. And then we'll also need to, and maybe it's a little early, we might be 1 year early, but we need some budget for engineering, because we're gonna get the extension built, and then we're gonna get that little runway stub over to the new lease land with a new pretty big sizable transient parking area. So we're gonna have that. So what we need to budget, we need a road over there, right? We got our driveway.
We talked about having a workshop. about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
In my mind, we have utilities, we have drainage, we have layout,
Yeah,
we have a lot of stuff to think about. And right now we have this 35,000 foot picture of some hangars.
Yeah.
But we need to get down about 2,000 feet
Mm-hmm.
and start looking at the real details.
Yeah.
And-
Do you guys want to do well, let's get to board comments. I'm kind of getting a little ahead of myself, and then let's pick this discussion up. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Chairman?
Okay, let's go to board comments.
Yeah.
My comment is, let's have
Yeah.
a-
Yeah.
on the hangars.
When would you guys like to do it?
Never convenient.
Yeah, sooner the better, I guess.
March, April? What's your preference? How's your
Not
guys'?
Spring break.
Right, yeah.
End of March, April.
You want Melinda to send out some dates to you guys?
I think if we may come out of there and say. We want to ask for more money from the state
Yeah,
because Canals is so good a friend of ours, but. Maybe we want to have a big community, big hangar, rather than, we've always talked about.
yeah, I've just drawn in little ones, but I think that's totally up for
There's a lot of
discussion.
things we need to talk about.
Yeah. All right, so let's have Melinda send out some dates for late February, April. For a workshop. We can do a meeting slash workshop. Yeah, late March or late March, April for a meeting slash workshop.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be here most of April.
What are your April dates that you're going?
Second to the 20th,
So end of March.
but I mean, I'm only one person.
All right, so maybe end of March is best.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
March
spring break
29th.
is the 13th through the 17th, so maybe the 27th through the 31st.
What about Wednesday, March 29th?
That's probably good. Wednesday, March 29th. How's that look for everyone?
Mark, good?
Yeah,
It's 3 o'clock?
Yeah, we'll do like 3 to 5. And we'll set out some big tables and I'll print out a bunch of big maps and we can just draw over everything. Okay,
do we have a rough idea on how much hangars would cost? I know at McCampbell.
you guys have a better idea of square footage than I do.
Can you
I mean,
get,
you guys
can
build.
they share some of that information with you?
Yeah.
Okay, that would be nice, because they
Yeah.
finished some relatively
Yes.
recently.
Yes.
And we
it's
could-
Nice. and
that
it's
would-
huge.
They're beautiful hangars. They did a great job.
Yeah,
Are they like, yeah, I mean, are they kind of bare bones or what, like what level of construction are they?
The hangar itself is wide open. There's not even an office or
Right.
restrooms, but there's no office space or shop space in there. I think what they're planning on doing is building it in towards the back of the hangar. There's already people keeping their airplanes in there
And
though.
are they nested tees?
No, it's one big wide open hangar.
So.
Oh, just a bit, okay,
Yeah.
right, all right.
The awesome price for the nested tees.
Yeah.
So we could get a rough estimate on.
When, how old are their nested tees?
Oh, they're ancient.
All right, so,
Within
We've got
5
some
years.
new ones, yeah, but we've been here since 2011. They're pretty old. And I can find that out.
Rockport has,
Since the hurricane.
how old are theirs? How old's Rockport's? How old are Rockport's?
Well, they were built after Harvey.
Oh, right, so that might be a decent number.
Yeah. And we leased the T hangar, so I can figure out when that was built.
Yeah, will you see if you can get their number?
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of right, it's not house construction square footage prices, it's it's almost like finished garage.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, so what's your guys' guess?
Exactly.
Metal building.
What's your guys' guess? Under 200 or over 200? A square foot?
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm not sure. We'll have to,
yeah.
but if we could get the Rockport, the big hangar
Mhm.
from
Yeah,
McCampbell.
okay.
And then the Rockport numbers,
And
at least would be in the ballpark.
they're not seaward of the intercoastal, so they have a different.
No, right, we're 150.
Ours is gonna be higher.
Yeah,
But we.
I think they're
ballpark.
130
Yeah,
maybe.
exactly.
And round up 20% or something.
Yeah.
like that.
And if we can find out who built them, maybe they
Yeah.
could give us some,
Yeah.
damn, okay, that would be helpful.
Okay, perfect.
Because they,
Sink loans
they
before that.
gladly should throw some numbers out there, I would think.
Just thinking. what's time
Yeah,
is
you
it?
know, right?
When my dad used to charge.
Okay.
You gotta have.
And then, real quick, just one more comment. Tuesday, the 21st, we're gonna get the street sweeper out there. Get everything swept.
Next Tuesday or in March?
Tuesday, the 21st. So yes, that's next Tuesday.
I'd like to invite everybody to the SIM class meeting is going to be next Wednesday at 3:30 at the high school. And to report on the SIM class, it's been very, very small, but we have a math teacher there that has been really enthusiastic. And it's been held consistently every Wednesday. So
And which building is that in?
it's going to be at the high school.
I think we'll be discussing.
Now, you went to the last one. Can you
Yeah.
fill us in?
I think next week we'll be discussing, trying to get a new grant from PAVE. You know, we got one last year. Unfortunately, we didn't realize that they're already getting, by February, they're already giving the money back to PAVE. But now that we have an idea where the sim club's going,
Right.
we have a better idea of what we should ask PAVE for.
And you gotta check in at the, do you gotta check in at the front office and get a
Yes,
tag or?
yeah,
Yeah.
just pull into the front office and
Yeah,
tell them you're there
okay.
for the.
And what time?
At 3:30.
Which room is it in usually?
It's the math teacher.
Oh,
His
math.
name is,
Andrew,
Hard agree.
uh-huh.
Uh,
He's really been
he's on the
nice.
Backside of the
So,
library.
yeah.
Yeah,
And he's
okay,
got a
yeah,
perfect little, it's just one simulator.
yeah.
And I've already talked to PAVE board, so as long, put the grant in, just explain what happened, why we didn't use the money last year, and we shouldn't have any issue getting a new grant this year.
Okay. It would be nice if we can get 2 simulators. this year.
Yeah, they love this stuff. Anything STEM,
Yeah,
they will just open the pocketbooks. for it.
okay. I think
Yeah,
we can get
it helps. So my wife's now what is she? Secretary of PAVE now.
Okay,
so
good, yeah.
we got-
School's out at what, I mean, that's right, as they get out of school, right? Okay.
And then the people that have been teaching it, I don't know if you know, CJ and Melanie. She's been in the Navy and flown all kinds of big stuff, and then him as well, but she is now currently one of the simulator teachers at the Navy base, and we
He
could,
just got hired on too.
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so they're both gonna be.
Yes, they're both some.
So we
instructors
couldn't,
now.
we need to really
Yeah,
help this program, because we couldn't have it any better.
they're the experts. They're the pros.
Yeah, we could, So anyway, yeah, but we do need some other computers because we're all huddled around one and that's the thing. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I have on that. And anything else? We can adjourn.
All right. Hit the gavel.
I'm such a rookie. Thank you.
We're gonna-
Karen let me-